Alright, can we hear background noise or not? That's the real question. So we're gonna test this shit out and see how it goes. You motherfucker.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Yeah! So the fuck what?
We're back with a new episode. Thank you everybody for being patient and listening, waiting in the trenches while we try to figure this shit out. We have a lot to get to, so I'm going to get to it as fast as possible here. Of course, as a Raider fan, I have to address the issue with John Gruden. To be honest, he definitely said some off-color things and should be held accountable, but how far does accountability go? I mean, nobody's perfect. You have to give people a chance to make things right. If you're going to be that sensitive to the people that are affected by those comments, you need to be that sensitive to the people that made the comments, no? Not to mention the fact that basically what happened here is he was listened to without his permission. I mean, they tapped into his emails and leaked them after they were investigating the other Washington football team, which is, I guess some would call friendly fire, maybe shrapnel. Not shrapnel, what's the word I'm looking for? Collateral damage, I guess. Unfortunately, the collateral damage didn't really lead to the main objective of trying to take down the Washington football team. It just led to the takedown of John Gruden, who you can take one look at, and he doesn't look like a saint. And he absolutely, without a doubt, looks like someone who's definitely maybe a little bit racist, but I think we all are. So I think you should give the guy a break a little bit. Not so much as he doesn't need to be hung out to dry the way he is. At least allow him to make an effort to correct his mistakes, or maybe let the guy make a donation or something, for Christ's sake. I mean, at least get some money out of him. He's got 40 mil in the bank. Let's not do all this for nothing. I mean, because if he disappears, the money disappears, then who really wins here? The grown men that were crying on ESPN like a little girl with a skin knee. No offense to little girls with skin knees. Anyways, next subject. Alright, so up next is going to be the wise decisions made by the all-powerful Gavin Newsom. This fucking prick. He passed, I don't know how many different laws. You'll have to look it up because, it's not like I have a podcast or anything. Why the fuck would I have the actual numbers? But one of the laws he passed was shocking to me. It was a law against stealthing. And for those of you not familiar with stealthing, you would be known as a normal individual. Because anyone who knew the term stealthing the first time they heard it, or when they heard it during the passing of this law, is a fucking creep. Because stealthing is when a man removes the condom without permission and puts it in anyways. Yeah, that's a real thing. And the fact that they had to make a law about it is even creepier. And on top of that, I think they're giving these planes a bad name. I mean, some of our best B-2 bombers are now going to be on the verge of being convicted of rape, if you think about it technically, and that's a scary thought. I don't know what this world's coming to. All jokes aside, call me old-fashioned or set in my ways, but I don't know what the fuck this condom thing is, but either way, you shouldn't take anything off and put it in without permission. That's just my stance on everything in life, whether it be dinner on the barbecue or your penis. You're going to want to get approval before putting it anywhere. You can't just assume people want it wherever you're going to put it. That's for sure. And speaking of things people don't want being put where they don't want, this chick, Kesha, is coming out with a show where, first of all, she claimed to have sex with a ghost. Now, if I remember correctly, she also claimed that one of her producers or someone raped her. And if you ask me, I think she needs to clarify, because was the sex with the ghost consensual, or are we talking about some, good old fashioned stealthing here? I mean, how boy, that's super stealthing if you're a ghost that stealths. That's got to be like a super sleuth stealth or some crazy shit like that. But anyway, she's dubbed herself the new ghost hunter, and if you ask me, it's counterintuitive. I mean, this is the same chick that was responsible for some of the worst songs, I don't know, what, 5-10 years ago? And if anyone would put any stock in her finding an actual ghost, you know what, actually, now I think about it, it might work out. I mean, she's had some pretty intimate experiences with a ghost. Her career is also on the deceased side of the universe, and I think if she can link up maybe with Iggy Azalea, the rapper, I think that we might have something on our hands here. There's some sort of crazy ass whitewash seance that might lead to the uprising of some sort of portal opening or something, or I don't know, maybe we'll find something. I guess to sum it all up, who gives a fuck what this chick thinks about ghosts? Technically. If you ask me, neither one of them exist. And actually, to double back to the Gavin Newsom thing, I do have to agree with the fact that he did veto the motion to, or the movement, what is it? Is it a motion or a movement? The effort to decriminalize jaywalking. Are you out of your fucking mind? Decriminalize jaywalking? Do you know how... I mean, I understand population control, and if that's the goal here, then by all means, decriminalize it. But we have crosswalks and people get hit every fucking day. Can you imagine no crosswalks and people just go wherever the fuck they want? It's flabbergasting. I mean, the fact that people would even push this, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, why even have stoplights? Fuck it. I mean, you're safer in a car, right? So fuck it, take your chances. I mean, if we would decriminalize jaywalking, we might as well decriminalize stoplights, or criminalize stoplights. Do it the opposite. I know I'd benefit from that because I run red lights like I'm the fucking mayor of the city I'm in, which I'm not going to tell you. But I run lights like I'm the king of California because I do in every city in California that I'm in. And if you don't believe that, you can check my driving record, you fuck. Anyways. And I'm not one of those assholes that runs the red at the very end when it goes yellow to red. I'm that asshole that comes up to an empty intersection, or I see there's no one turning across from me, and I go. I don't give a fuck. I don't give my daughter's in the car. I don't care. I do it. Because it's redundant. It's stupid. We're just wasting time. I mean, I know people say, oh, go the speed limit. Well, these speed limits were created when people weren't horse and buggy. I'm sorry, I'm in a fucking brand new car. I've got side airbags. Kiss my ass. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I do want to talk about William Shatner. Now listen to me. I'm granted this old man gets to do what he wants to do. He looks great for 90. He's a fucking hoot in the Travelocity commercials or whatever it is. Is it, it's not Travelocity, that's the gnome. Priceline. Either way, he's a fucking liar. That's right, I said it. William Shatner is probably one of the worst liars out there. I mean, this guy, you don't want to talk about a piece of shit. You want to give him credit because of all of his accolades. He's 90 years old, he's still with it. whatever. He cried when he went almost up to space, but he's a fucking liar. You know what? He said he's been in space since the fucking 60s. So that means that whole time he was telling us he was in space, he was full of shit. So I don't know why anyone gives this guy any fucking credit whatsoever. Wait a minute. Spock's a lying piece of shit too, then. He was never there either. And speaking of lying pieces of shit, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Toby? This guy and his wife tried to pull some homegrown espionage and pass off nuclear submarine secrets to a foreign government. How the fuck do you reach out to a foreign government when you're a Navy contractor? When you're a Navy contractor, where do you think you went on Facebook and was like, I'm gonna search Russia, and then just DM them? Or I guess it's PM on Facebook. Maybe he did it on Facebook and Instagram because he's, cover all of his bases. Those military guys are, he's a contractor. Was he even in the military? I was a fucking contractor for the DOD. I was never in the military, and I was still tougher than half of those fucks, but I wasn't dumb enough to try to... Okay, I shouldn't say I was tougher than half of those fucks. I was probably tougher than 3/4 of them. But that's only because, growing up I got enough of my daddy telling me what to do, so I didn't need another daddy when I, was old enough to tell myself what to do. But anyways, this guy and his wife, and he brought his wife in too. She was a school teacher. Like, hey honey, when you're done grading the pop quizzes, would you mind, hey, how do you spell espionage? Do you think he asked her how to spell it because she's a teacher? I don't know what grade she taught though. Maybe that would have been above her grade. It was definitely above his pay level. That's for goddamn sure. But anyways, this guy got busted. Big surprise. Who saw that coming? And he got busted, in the dumbest way. He's like, yeah, give me a down payment in cryptocurrency. Yeah, they're not going to track that to a guy who's a contractor. That's going to be a tough one to sniff out. Unless they follow it to the fucking cafeteria and find it in his wife's lunch satchel. I mean, what the fuck, man? People are so fucking retarded. Oh, sorry, I can't say retarded. People are remedial. Can you say remedial? Hey, what if I'm retarded sometimes? Shouldn't I be able to say retarded? Hey, speaking of which, I got a question. I think that... Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I think gingers are some of the most prosecuted people in the nation of our time. I could be wrong. Pretty sure I'm right. Because everybody makes fun of gingers. I mean, and it's the thing to do. You get a gift from a ginger, it's cursed, all that shit. We all know it. You see one, the first thing you think, you're like, oh, it sucks. But it's also funny that it sucks for you, of course. But now my heritage is Italian and Irish. A little bit. But for the most part, I'm a Viking. Okay, I'm Icelandic. And when I get mad, my face turns shades of red that you would be, it's... Honestly, I'm impressed with myself sometimes. Once or twice I've caught my reflection when I'm pissed off in the mirror, and I go, God damn, that's a bright fucking red. I'd run that shit if it was at a stoplight. But my question is how come I can do that and gingers don't say shit, but a senator puts on blackface for Halloween and almost loses his job? I think a little bit of culture appropriation in both areas, no? That's just food for thought. Anyways, I know it was a short one. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. And again, we're still working on the name, but as of now, yeah. So, you don't like it? Change the channel. You got something better to listen to? Go listen to it. 0 fucks are given over here. But if you do like it, tell a friend. Appreciate it. Take care.